in my mind, I'm like, am I really helping this person if I'm just adjusting them and they have to come back all the time for the same thing? And it was starting to kind of eat away at me a bit, like a little bit. I felt kind of like a moral conflict. My name is Brandon Fromm. I'm a chiropractor, and I've been practicing for about 8 years now. Over the years, though, I've kind of slowly drifted away from as much adjusting and not really relying on that as much as soft tissue and nerve entrapments and stuff like that. It's called Lakeside Performance and Recovery, and it's in Chelan, Washington. We just changed our name actually in June. It was Lakeland Chiropractic. I purposely took the name Chiropractic out of it just because over the years it seems like people are more addicted to that popping and assuming that's where the relief is coming from. I had like this time in my career where I would kind of space out while I'm working on somebody, more or less, where in my mind I'm like, am I really helping this person if I'm just adjusting them and they have to come back all the time for the same thing? And it was starting to kind of eat away at me a bit, like a little bit. I felt kind of like a moral conflict, like, do I do what the patient came here to get because we're a chiropractic practice, or do I do the right thing? And so I ended up, for a long time, I actually did both. So I would have a lot of patients that would come in for an adjustment. That's what they would pay for. But then deep down, I'm like, I need to do what's going to help them and what's going to be the right thing. So I would adjust them and then also squeeze in more adhesion release work. And you know, a lot of the patients still thought that adjustments are what was helping them, but it was more the adhesion release. Anyways, when I made these changes, the ones that were really valuing it are the ones that those patients really stuck with me, and it's made room for a lot of patients that really appreciate the process more than just like a joint popping or something. So for me, it's a lot more fulfilling. The cases that were coming in were really complex, and it was taking a lot more out of me. And it was just like, as I was trying to implement this into my practice, I ended up finding Dr. Chris by accident, actually. I looked up something on YouTube for a case I had later in the day that I was having trouble with. I came across his video and then came across his, like the website where you could get a subscription and train on it. And it fit so much of what I was trying to do. It was like, seemed a little bit too good to be true, like Google is spying on me or something. And I sent him an email asking him if was this clickbait, what's going on? Like, is this fake? And I was really trying to see if somebody would get back to me, and he actually emailed me like 30 minutes later, and he's like, no, it's not a scam. What about it makes it feel that way? And anyways, that's kind of how I kind of stumbled upon this, actually. He says nobody's watched all of his videos, but I'm pretty sure I've watched them all. I just watched them several times, and I keep going through them, so it shows that I'm like halfway through a lot of them, but I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but I've seen videos of him talking about the struggles he's been through and the times he's wanted to quit and trying to get balance in his life and things like that. And that's the stuff that stood out to me, is not like necessarily where he's at this moment, but what he's gone through to get here and what he wants to do. Because for me personally, we have a lot of the same values. We've taken different roads to get to where we're at now, but I feel like we're at very similar places. I mean, I really appreciate his passion for this stuff. To be honest, there's been a lot of time over the last 5 years where I was ready to hang it up, not come back to work. Right about 2 years ago, I came home from work and just broke down when I got home, telling my wife, I was like, I can't do this anymore. You know, at the end of the day, I'm so tired from treating people, and it just takes so much out of me that I felt like I didn't have enough left for my wife and my son. And what has kept me going is not just my family, but when I have a patient who it's been 20 or 30 years since they've done, you know, been able to touch their toes, or, you know, not take pain medication or something like that, and it's like they've tried everything. The appreciation on a patient's face, or when they realize they don't have to be in pain, those are the types of things that really motivate me. For me, every time I go to a seminar where I'm advancing my skill set, I felt like my skill set was good. A lot of people around me think it's like the best. I'm not convinced, so I'm constantly seeking out like who's getting better results than me, and I'm wanting to learn these things because patients come to me where I live and they're like, you're the best, or what. I get that a lot, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm not the best. Some of it for me is like, I want to be what actually people are perceiving me to be, so I'm not like this imposter. But I really truly do want to actually help my patients. If I'm not, like, that's why I changed from the chiropractic name is because I felt like I was in a way offering up a solution that's supposed to be this like fix all thing that's not. Those are the kind of things that motivate me. And then also I do want to be able to have a better balance in my life where I don't want my son to grow up thinking that I'll spend time with him when I have time. You know, I want him to know that like he's the priority in my life.
How old is he?
He'll be 4 on Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to be more present. I don't want to be, I mean, my biggest fear is him graduating someday or me getting to the end of the road and I'm thinking, man, I fucked up, you know, and all right, I gave this up or missed this opportunity with him. I think what I learned here was that how important it is to get the proper depth with things and using the proper vectors and tension and things like that. If something doesn't feel right, kind of like golf, if your setup's not right, like start over. Don't just do it because you'll miss. I'm finding that like slow, take my time, really feel what I'm feeling was the biggest thing I got out of this. This is how you get the proper tension to treat this area. I think that was a thing I was missing that I feel like a lot more confident in now. I teach my assistant this, my associate. I even try to teach patients not how to do it, but about this is what's going on and teach them like this is what's generating the pain. I really like doing that stuff. So yeah, does that answer your question?
If you'd like to see more about how we fix chronic pain at Barefoot Rehab in New Jersey and with Adhesion Release Methods across the world, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that we will be releasing each week.